If you've enjoyed Madden games since Madden 19, you'll probably enjoy this game. If you've hated Madden games since Madden 19, you probably will not enjoy this game.
All this shit live.
There are some new additions that I genuinely like. The heavy snow weather option, which we'll get into more, is visually impressive and something new. Juke moves are more effective and look nice. And player speed has been drastically improved from Madden 25. Resulting in a game that feels more fluid and fun. With
the last Madden game I bought, bro, I took that bitch like out. Some shit happened. Some shit happened, bro. And the last Madden game I bought, bro, I literally took that shit and I literally took that shit out the system. I bent that shit up and I lit that shit on fire, bro. That shit trash. It was on Ultimate Team too. I'm like, bro, I pay way too much goddamn money for y'all to be bullshit with these animations and shit, bro. You can't even play the game.
On your hands. For the first time since the extra point in Madden 10 and 11, EA has added a weekly recap show. There are finally different broadcast packages for Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night matchups, and the soundtrack actually has good variety. A lot of features we've been asking EA to add over the years are now present. But how well are they executed? EA markets these additions very well. I would say marketing is what EA does best. But at the end of the day, this game is essentially the same game we've all been playing for years with some subtle tweaks. None of these additions are huge or make the game feel significantly fresh. It's still incredibly buggy.
He's hella right. I mean, the game looks good and shit, but I literally been playing this game since... Bro, let me just say this off the rip. I was never a 2K nigga, bro. Like, I was never a 2K. A little bit of NBA Live, but I was never, ever, ever a 2K nigga. The only 2K I ever seen around me was 2K3. My mama played that shit, like, religiously. Outside of that, bro, there was no other real 2K around me. We played Madden. Like, when my uncles was like, you know what I'm saying? My Uncle Dickie and them, you know, they had the guys over and everything, you know what I'm saying? Shoot dice, you know what I'm saying? Play dominoes, woo. They get on Madden. They were in Madden tournaments. You know what I'm saying? They busting nigga ass in Madden. We used to play Madden. Madden used to be the top tier game. It used to be the top. It used to be the hood classic game. You come over here, get your ass whooped in Madden. Now, nobody wants to play that shit. It's for a bunch of geekers and spammers. They just go and buy shit and make, man. And then the animation, man. Like I said, the last time I had a Madden game, bro, I took that shit out the system. I bent that shit up real good, and I burned that shit. That was Madden 22. Never bought another one. Haven't bought another one since. And I still probably won't. And I'm not going to cap. It's going to be the same fucking way for 2K this year. 2K got the same thing going on, bro. Because this shit, bro, I mean, if I could get on here and tell y'all, like, but y'all already know. Y'all already know, bro.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by picking an app. Meet Base 44.
As you can see here, where a user starts one game, hits halftime, and somehow enters the second half of an entirely different matchup. This only scratches the surface of the game's lack of polish, which we'll get into.
Like, bro,
gameplay is still driven by animations playing out rather than by an underlying true physics model, which is a design choice that leads to less.
And I watched that shit too. The physics model is way better, bro. Y'all should check that shit out. Just go look it up on TikTok.
It does at least offer more animation variety and more accurate foot planting. We'll discuss the pros and cons of this design choice in more depth. But this has been the case with every single Madden since the jump to the 360 era with Madden 06. And it's a major reason why the game feels so repetitive year after year. Madden NFL 26 is a game that checks off boxes, but without much thought. Minor tweaks make this a better game than last year, and I can see an argument that this might be the best Madden of the 2020s. But I personally haven't enjoyed a single Madden title from the 2020s, so what is that really worth? Do baby steps justify a $70 price tag, or $100 if you wanted early access? Does it seem like Madden is finally getting on track towards being special again? Or is this yet another year of the same old song and dance? Let's dive in. When you first open the game, you get a sobering reminder that sports gaming has changed drastically over the years. Before you can access the main menu and hop into a game, you are forced to go through the usual options for your favorite team and difficulty, which is fine, but then you get an Ultimate Team ad. After closing the ad, you still aren't at the main menu. Now you get a screen talking about an NFL Team Pass. The Battle Pass system has infiltrated every single video game at this point, even fully priced ones like Madden. Next, the game makes you choose your team for your pass, and then it has the Premium Pass, which you have to pay money for auto-selected. You have to manually select Free Pass. A prompt asks if you're sure, and then you see your Team Pass progress. And then some premium rewards are showed to you to pressure you into getting that Premium Pass. And only after all that can you see the main menu and start playing. It defaults to Ultimate Team, of course, a game mode where you spend real money on player packs, as the pre-selected game mode here. This is really strange to me. Why force the player to have to carefully navigate all of these options that most casual players won't touch or care about? I miss when Madden asked for your favorite team and jumped right into the main menu. This feels not only tedious, but predatory, as it's clearly trying to get the player to drop more money on the game by auto-selecting the Premium Pass. This isn't by any means the biggest issue with the game, but it is a...
And I understand that shit, bro. Cause straight up, that's all 2K is. Bro, I'm looking at 2K right now on my shit. There's an ad in the game. Like, for 2K26. In the game on my screen right now. It's everywhere. They do it with everything. When you dashboard on the PS5, on 2K, 2K26's cover is in the background. With a pre-order on the right side corner at the bottom. Like, bro, they do that shit with everything. Like, that shit get annoying. Like, you know how many different pages and shit you gotta go through just to get on the goddamn game? Nobody wanna do that shit, man. What the hell is wrong with you white people, man?
An issue regardless. And it's evidence that EA is trying to condition younger players into thinking this sort of thing is normal. To me, this cheapens the game and makes me feel like I just spent $70 on a free mobile title. I'd imagine most Madden players do not care about this Team Pass at all. The main menu is very similar to last year's. It's fine, I guess, but I do miss the vintage Madden menus. Those were cool.
Hey, listen. The ball represents a payment bank card that charges you for fees. What you gonna do about it?
Get fees. That's what you're supposed to do.
Cash back like a pro with Chase Freedom Unlimited. How do you cash back?
How's it going, Angela?
AT&T's internet works in minutes. It's so easy a baby could do it.
Creed?
Whose baby is that?
Yeah. Why is there a baby in here? We're setting up the internet.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute!
Gameplay suffers from the same issue as always. It's too reliant on animations. Thanks to a recent interview I had with Ian Cummings here on this channel, who worked on Madden during the PS2 and PS3 era, I can more accurately describe what the problem is without making any assumptions. On the PS2 Maddens, as well as the 2K football games, and even titles like Sunday Rivals or Backbreaker,
This is exactly what he's talking about.
or the 2012 NFL Blitz downloadable only reboot, when you move your left stick, you weren't actually controlling the player model. You were controlling the circle under the player. This circle was the underlying physics engine. It had rules it had to follow, and it was programmed to have realistic stamina and movement abilities. The player model was an illusion built on top, and animations don't carry the player down the field. They were instead running in place while the circle was what was actually moving. In modern Madden titles, and even other sports games like NBA 2K, there is no underlying physics model underneath the player model that a user can control. Instead, the actual player model itself is what you control. While this means you're literally in control of your player's feet, resulting in less sliding and more realistic-looking animations compared to those older football games, without the underlying physics model built into the circle under the player model doesn't have to follow the laws of physics. If an animation pulls him one way, he's going that way, and the user has no control over this.
Now, how many fucking times did that shit happen in 2K, bro? It's like you gotta be meticulous on 2K just to make sure that you're not even, you know what I'm saying? Like, that you're not even sliding or not getting into any extra animations or no shit like that. Like, and you really gotta lock in to do that shit. I just want to stand in front of the person and play defense. I just want to, like, go with my player. Do a little juke, little spin, you know what I'm saying? Get down the field.
Reliance on animations is what leads to the scripted, repetitive feeling that's been present in gameplay for so long. Defensive players get caught in a stumble animation from the slightest touch, which has to play out fully before they regain control and pursue the ball carrier. When you run by a player, usually you get around them because they are stuck in an animation. This is also why you get sucked into animations when you feel like you should have been able to run by someone. This is also why drags, ins, and out routes are so effective year after year. Defensive backs simply can't follow a receiver on their break animation, as it accelerates the receiver at an unrealistic rate. Being successful in Madden is less about throwing with anticipation and more about hitting receivers when defenders have a delayed reaction due to an animation playing out. If the circle under the player had a physics model that was prioritized over the animations, this would not be an issue, as receivers wouldn't get a speed boost on a cut, and defenders wouldn't have to finish their change of direction animation before they could run with their man. With that being said, at least player speed is faster than last year, which
and that animation shit that he talking about, that shit is real as fuck, bro. I always have to change, like, make sure that I'm using the stick and not touching anything else, just so I'm not getting into any animation, just so I can change direction. It's ridiculous because most games there's combos that you follow. Even in 2K, there's combos.
Create a better illusion of user control.
One button at a time.
The bounciness of boom tech is toned down, and juke moves are more fun and effective than usual. The run game is more fun as you shoot out of a cannon on handoffs with top guys in a way that feels close to College Football 25. But the animation-heavy gameplay results in a game that not only feels repetitive, but also out of your control overall. You can perform an effective double juke, and Saquon's backwards hurdle is an animation you can also trigger, although it was added in an update last year as well. Quarterbacks even have more authentic animations, which makes the game feel more authentic and realistic when throwing. Although the same usual ball trajectory issues are present. You can't drop a pass in a bucket like you could in All-Pro Football 2K8. Regardless, new animations help the game look more authentic, but the lack of an underlying physics model makes the game play the same as it always has at its core. So once the new factor of these animations wear off, the game gets stale. Blocking AI still seems really bad, and you'll notice the same flaws as usual. I think it's a little better when running the football, but it's still not great. You might see some occasional smart blocking upfield, but you'll also see the same issue of blockers getting caught in animations, unable to engage in time. You can once again juke in the backfield as a quarterback, something that was in Madden 20, but this is a good addition. However, it adds an extra button for using Playmaker. And quarterbacks often get sucked into drop-back animations that the user can't run out of. This is worst on screenplays. You can't hike the ball and take off on plays with a scripted dropback, which is frustrating when a pass rusher gets you instantly. With the reach for it mechanic tied to the right stick, trucking is now difficult to pull off, which is annoying as someone who loves to truck. Playbooks are improved now with double motions. One of the best things modern Madden has going for it that these older games like 2K5 don't is modern playbooks. However, I wish we had creative play. I'll get more into that when going over franchise mode. And some plays never work because routes are too close together, and your teammates end up picking the main target so the ball gets overthrown. It's a common issue. Overall,
this is the third generation of a company that was founded in 1950.
Overall, I think gameplay is the number one issue with Madden. And it needs to be rebuilt from scratch with a proper physics engine running underneath the player. With modern tech and the size of EA's team, they should be able to fix this and avoid obvious foot sliding within 2 years. This is the quickest and most realistic way they can drastically improve gameplay and make the game feel different for once. Adding more animations each year won't fix the underlying physics issue. And the player AI and slider tweaks can only do so much when pursuit and user control is delayed by animations. Franchise mode is somewhat improved, I guess, but when marketing before release dubbed this as the biggest update to franchise mode in over a decade, you'll probably be disappointed if you let that raise your expectations. Franchise mode really hasn't been good since Madden 12, and even that game didn't compare to franchise mode on the PS2 era titles. Let's look at the positives first. We finally get proper terminology for positions. We no longer need to move ends to defensive tackles or outside linebackers to ends. Now we get proper edge positions and Mike, Will, and Sam linebackers. We also get a true long snapper position, so no more of those 38 overall tight ends. I'm not sure why this took so long, but it does help the franchise experience immensely by having proper positions. The new play sheets feature is really just a streamlined version of staff upgrades that we've already had. And as I'll get into in the presentation section, adding custom scoreboards and theme songs for Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games helps promote a lot and is something I've been asking EA to add for years. It helps you understand the stakes of the matchup in your fictional NFL universe. You can create lore in your head, like that your generated quarterback you drafted always loses on Monday nights. It's subtle, but I enjoy this sort of thing. The other addition of note is the weekly recap show, which you can play in the franchise home screen or it shows at halftime during games. This is something I've been asking for since I first saw a weekly recap show in ESPN NFL 2K5. For years, EA seemed like they couldn't do it. Now it's here. Sadly, the execution is terrible. Let me show you an example.
Hi everyone, Scott Hansen with you, and this is the EA Sports Weekly Recap. Lots to get to. Let's start in SoFi Stadium. The Chargers at home to take on the New England Patriots. And it's Justin Herbert, one of his 2 rushing touchdowns on the afternoon. The Chargers take care of business. The number 2 seed will get another home game in the divisional round. From there, let's go up to the Motor City. Let's look in on the Lions at home to take on Washington. And this is Chris Rodriguez. Spots an opening, capitalizes on it, 15 yards for the touchdown. The Commanders pull off the big upset. The wild card knocks off the division champ. They're moving on to the divisional round. Lastly, let's head to Buffalo. The Bills hosting the Denver Broncos. And it's Josh Allen, one of his 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. The Bills are moving on. The number 3 seed takes care of business in front of their home fans. One round is complete. We're down to 8 teams remaining with a chance to lift the Vince Lombardi Trophy. I'm Scott Hansen.
That is what you see every week.
Now, I had 2K5, and I still have my 2K5. Bro. There was no substance to that. I mean, it was a recap, and I liked it. It was engaging, too. But there was no substance. When Chris Bierman came on the screen, and the Sports Center and shit came around, and then the music came on and shit, bro. It literally felt like you was watching Sports Center, nigga. Like, that's what it felt like. This, like, there's no net. And I'm not saying, like, you have to have a network. Actually, you know what? Fuck that. I am saying you have to have a network, nigga. In 05, we did it. Why can't we do it now, nigga? And the crazy part is, games, I feel like, come on more networks now than they ever did before. So it's just like y'all have more resources and more opportunity to do this shit, and y'all are not doing it, bro. I'm not complaining. I don't even buy this shit, but it's just like there's a vast difference in a game, bro. To me, honestly, and whenever I find a modded version of 2K5, that's gonna be the way I go play football. Go play 2K5, because my copy still works. It's smooth as hell. It's probably the best football game I've ever played in my life. It's got hella additions. The franchise mode is every mode is hella deep in that game. If you've ever played 2K5, you know what I'm talking about.
Plates with the final score and
they got the crib in there.
While this is new for Madden, I can't help but feel let down. In 2004, 2K had a show just like this, using Sports Center branding. And not only did it show multiple highlights from games you didn't play, but it also showed free agent pickups, injured players, trades, draft prospects, and Player of the Week awards. It also showed complete stats from every single game, with the top 3 performers of each team listed. There were special broadcasts for the Combine, free agency, post-draft with Mel Kiper, and the last recap of the regular season would show seasonal awards like MVP and Rookie of the Year.
You see what I'm talking about, bro?
All EA can add is
this shit was deep, bro. I'm telling y'all, this shit was deep.
Robotic commentary from Scott Hansen, who I actually really enjoy on NFL Red Zone. I don't understand why there aren't scores from around the league included here. Also of note, this recap is
and the game was hella complex too.
Not the previous
and they had a mode where you could get in that bitch and be an actual player with the face mask on. That mode was hella hard. Like, it was hard to play because like
you can
but it was very interesting
for the winning team.
Very good, interesting mode. Like they was trying to do some VR shit.
Highlights are also freehand templates, so you'll see the same ones repeat over time, just with different players and teams. To be fair,
2K really did used to be like that with the games, though. But y'all see what we got now.
I remember Rex Dixon claiming years ago that they didn't want to add this feature until the tech was there to avoid using pre-canned clips. Yet here we are in 2025, and the feature uses pre-canned clips, while missing everything else 2K did with their show, or even what EA did with the Extra Point show. Regardless,
bro, go get these commentators and skin their bodies. Go get.
I'd love to see highlights
comments, bro. Go get Tarico, bro.
And I do prefer this to whatever the hell Jonathan Coachman was doing at halftime previously. I'm just disappointed it took EA over 20 years to add this, only for it to still be very far behind what 2K did in 04. It's 2025. Make it make sense. A feature I wish had in franchise mode.
I care about Superstar mode. I care about Superstar mode. Because I don't care about franchise mode. I know franchise mode is not good. Bro, you used to be able to change the prices for the fucking hot dogs in the game, bro. Change what your fans was wearing, bro. Like, the shit was deep in the old Madden. Everything had its place back then. Everybody had their place. Everybody made good games.
Still, you can only choose between the same 5 positions. There's no tight end, there's no safety, there's no defensive lineman, and worst of all, no punter. In order Maddens on the PS2 and PS3, you could be these positions. Maybe I want to be a special team star like Matthew Slater. That's never been possible. The mode starts with the Combine after you create your guy. You can import a player from college football, so the mode doesn't include college games or anything like that before the Combine. Rich Eisen narrates cutscenes, which is a cool touch. I like Rich Eisen. This year, the mode feels more like 2K's My Career than ever. It's not as deep, but it's similar. It even has microtransactions. Combine drills are fun, although if you start a career as a quarterback, a lot of...
Bro, what? Nigga, what could you be doing? Hold up. What? Bro, are we looking at the same thing, bro? Bro. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck could you possibly be paying for? Like, this shit is crazy.
Combine drills are fun, although if you start a career as a
quarterback, offline mode. Why are y'all putting microtransactions?
Even though I had a rough showing,
2K isn't even doing that, and I feel like 2K is the worst ever.
The draft cutscene is easy to accidentally skip, as it appears like a video and not the literal draft itself. And then you're in the
2K is worse than it's ever been.
I like how you aren't forced to partake in a terrible story.
There's an ad for every fucking thing.
It's basically road to glory in college football, but for the NFL, in minus balancing academics. Managing wear and tear, practicing, and trying to complete quests and goals to build connections with your coaches and trainers is the name of the game. It's pretty bare bones, but again, it's better than usual. The next step would be to add every position and create more dynamic scenarios per position that play out many years in. It would be cool if you had something like the crib in old 2K games.
Thank you! You see what I'm talking about? This is the crib, y'all. This is the crib right here. This is the crib. So on the crib, bro, you had this hockey table right here, bro. You could play hockey on that shit. Like, you could literally play air hockey. Like, you could call a nigga, like a celebrity that's like maybe came to one of your games or is like a fan of you or whatever. You could call them over, nigga. You could play these niggas in table hockey. You could play. You see that finger football table? You could play these niggas in finger football. You could even have somebody plug up with the controller, and if you have things in your crib, y'all could do those games together. So it's like, if you wanted to just go to your crib and play a nigga in PS2 version of air hockey, you could do that. Like, bro, 2K5 was deep, bro. It's one of the best games that I've ever played in my entire life, bro. And I played that shit when I was a little nigga. It's one of the best games I've ever played in my life. It was crazy. You could play the game, the actual game, against the celebrities. And that would be actually challenging and smart and have IQ. And will bust your ass too. And will talk shit. It's pre-recorded. But it's like, that type of shit was ahead of its time, bro. Nobody thinks of that shit no more. It's just like Soluminati said, like, nothing has connection with nothing anymore. Back then, when in games like 2K5, there were celebrities and shit in the game. Even in 2K. 2K used to have celebrities, bro. Kanye was a playable hooper, bro. Waka Flocka was a playable hooper, bro. In the game, nigga. Like, nobody does that shit anymore.
You could decorate your house.
Look at this shit.
Salary and view your trophies and awards on the shelf. Maybe collect some bobbleheads.
Literally.
Put up a Chris Berman poster. That's not a thing in Madden. It was a thing in 04, though. You can now get benched for poor play, which makes it more involved than usual. It's still very rough around the edges and far from where it should be as a career mode in a sports game. Considering Superstar Mode was first introduced in the 6th-gen version of Madden 06, 20 years ago. But if you're okay with being one of only 5 positions, and you're really just looking for a great value offline version of my career, you might enjoy killing time here.
This shit was offline, bro. Y'all are making niggas play for offline?
It's gone.
Gaming experiences? What the fuck is this? What is this?
That was my go-to mode to play with friends. If you accidentally click one of the many
the only way I'll ever get mad at this is
to play this mode.
My girl did that shit for me. Somebody gifted to me. My mama, my associates, people I know. Like, that's the only way. I would never buy that shit.
I don't recommend this mode at all.
Like I said, it's really 2K last year.
Champions, later called Mutt Draft, if it ever returned. If you want a more in-depth review of Ultimate Team,
I'm only buying that shit because we all going in the last time.
I'd rather deflect attention.
If it's ass, I'm gonna play. I'm never really bad at 2K. I haven't been like really bad at 2K since like 2K. So it's just like, even with this shit ass game, I worked around it. Like, I'm shooting like 60% from 3 and shit. I keep changing my shit, but I know exactly what it is. But bro.
You want to see what's right for you.
SpongeBob. I'm gonna show that shit with SpongeBob. Other game modes. I really don't care about the
Superstar
other game
KO
modes.
still exists, which is fine as a quick
NFL license. Okay. I want to hear about this because the license shit, y'all. EA license is about to expire, and when they have the license, it literally means like they can use the NFL's players, uniforms, basically the NFL's likeness. Period. Old shit, new shit, future shit, they can use all that shit in their games. And they went out and bought that shit in 05 after 2K5 came out. When NFL 2K5 came out, Madden was like, EA was like, oh fuck no, we gotta buy the license because we can't have this competition. Now, 2K did release another game like 3 years later, but it didn't have the licensing and shit. It had like parodies of like old legends and shit like that. He showed y'all like you can still like create and shit on there. It's just that it's nothing real. Like it's not authentic. It doesn't have the licensing. And I feel like licensing in the game when it comes to shit like sports and shit is very important because it makes it feel like kind of real. Like I could play a fake ass game, but you gotta let me know it's a fake ass game. I shouldn't see a clear version of Jerry Rice on your cover and Joe Montana. And I go in there and their names are fucking Joe Rogers and Steve Potato. Like, what the fuck? But it's cool. It's whatever. It's whatever, bro. I'm ready to hear
There
this
is
shit.
a rumor reported by a reliable source, Insider Gaming's Mike Straw, that claims EA approached the NFL asking to save money by giving up exclusive rights. The NFL said no. As much as we want to blame EA for signing this deal in the first place, killing off their competition in games like NFL 2K Fever and Game Day, it was always the NFL's choice first. EA was always the highest bidder, too. Hearing that EA offered to go non-exclusive, but the NFL said no is crazy to me. The NFL's main reason for going exclusive was to protect their brand image. Yet EA's terrible Maddens over the years are literally hurting their brand image.
Yeah, because fuck around and y'all gonna end up like 2K. Ain't nobody buying that shit, nigga. Y'all's games are already hella expensive. My whole thing is this, bro. And I get it. Like, I totally get, like, microtransactions, like, in certain games, I get it, bro. You want a new skin? Go get that shit. Fortnite is free. This is why Fortnite has a fucking battle pass. Why am I paying $75 to $80 for a fucking game, and then turning around and have to drop another $100 to $200, 2K, just to make sure my player is good? Madden, just to make sure I have good packs to go against cheesehead ass niggas or little kids with the access to the mom and dad's fucking credit card. Like, mind you, I've seen this shit happen. I've watched a little nigga with access to mom and dad's credit card just go and buy every fucking COD skin and every fucking... I've watched this shit. Why would y'all, like, why are y'all being this, like, predatory when it comes to these games, bro? It's just like, nigga just want to get on and chill. We are, like, the world is already hard, and I get it. Like, you know, inflation and shit. I was just watching a video about that shit, but it's just like, bro, we're already spending $70, $80. 9 times out of 10 for a lot of people that just want to chill. That's a portion. You know what I'm saying? $70, $80. You could do a lot with $70 to $80. You could do a lot with $100 to $200. Why? And then they didn't want no competition. This shit is just crazy, bro.
It's about money. I have an idea. The NFL should charge EA the same amount they would for an exclusive license, yet make it non-exclusive.
And I've been saying this shit too, bro. Okay, first of all, if we're gonna get the same games every year, I feel like niggas wouldn't have a problem with us getting the same repainted and repolished version of 2K. Just offer a big ass patch every year. Just make sure y'all game, just drop a game, a polished version of the game like every 2 years. Work on that shit. Drop certain patches like throughout the 2-year tenure, bro. Pull COD or some shit. Except y'all niggas make y'all shit free and make the update like $39. Add new clothes and shit in the game, bro. Y'all will get money. It's the same shit that Fortnite pretty much does. It's the same shit. And then Fortnite within their game offers older modes and older versions. Now, that's what I'm saying too. I've been saying this shit too. But Fortnite really ruined gaming, bro. Like, that shit really did ruin gaming. It introduced the Battle Pass shit. Like, it introduced microtransactions. Like, it introduced so much extra shit that these companies were like, oh, they making money, let's do it. Y'all fail to realize, what y'all fail to realize, though, is that, bro, I'm about to pop this nigga. What y'all fail to realize, though, is that these niggas were making money. Epic Games was making money because it's a game for things like that. You want to go get cosmetics for, you know what I'm saying? You want to go get the new skin. You want to have the new wrap. You know what I'm saying? You want those things. And it wasn't expensive. Now with the Battle Pass shit, well, yeah, that's always been a thing, but it's like, bro, there should not be a fucking Battle Pass in 2K, nigga. I should just be able to go shop and buy whatever the fuck I want. Why do niggas have a better advantage over me because they have the Battle Pass? Now, he hasn't really in depth, well, I probably skipped over to some shit, in depth gone through the Madden Battle Pass, but I'm sure I'm sure they give you free fucking cards in that bitch too. Bro, literally right now, you can get a 100 overall card pack from having the premium pass. And this is season 9, by the way. Well, I don't know why y'all are still holding 100 overalls behind fucking paywalls. And like, there's so much wrong with these games, bro. And it's going to get to a point where y'all gonna keep fucking around and y'all not gonna have nobody but these little niggas. And when these little niggas get older, they're gonna be like, oh shit, this shit is not, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna wanna, mommy and daddy not gonna shell out the credit card no more. See what I'm saying? This shit is ridiculous, bro. Like,
EA has to agree regardless. They won't say no and make an unlicensed EA Sports Pro Football game that won't work like it works with FIFA. They won't quit making Madden either. The NFL has all the power here in negotiations. Ask for the same amount as usual and make it non-exclusive. If EA acts like they won't sign,
just drop a big ass fucking patch every year, bro. Still make y'all money. Make the patch like, I don't know,
for the NFL.
$40, $50 patch shit include player updates, jersey updates, roster updates, all that shit. Mode updates. Like, find out a way to do that shit, bro. Because it will save y'all a lot of money, a lot of fucking time, a lot of effort. Y'all still be able to recoup.
Until it's no longer possible.
Y'all need to get a connection to these players, these companies and shit.
Being able to build anything just by thinking about it.
Like, get connections to the community, bro. I'm not really that deep into the football community. I watch football and shit. I'm a fan of football. I got a favorite team and all that shit.
Describe what you want and watch it take shape.
But I'm not really as heavy. I don't watch 7v7s and shit like that. I watch basketball, nigga.
You could say that EA is polishing a turd by adding some fluff on top of a broken core, but the game isn't polished in the slightest. So I guess it's just a turd. A slightly more appealing one compared to last year. Around Black Friday, it might be worth getting half off after patches have fixed some bugs if you haven't played Madden in a while. But even then, if you felt jaded by Madden's lack of evolution over the years, specifically with gameplay and franchise mode, you'll get bored of 26 fast. If you enjoy Madden 24 and 25, you mostly play online, and/or the idea of a Madden 25 with faster jukes and quicker gameplay sounds great to you, then you're the target audience here, and it could be worth buying just for that. But
that's what I
for
think
most
it is.
people
The fact
following
that
my channel, I would not recommend it. The game needs to be
whoop
rebuilt
your
from
ass,
scratch.
bro, for
There
real.
are too many legacy issues and oversights present. Adding new features on top of a broken core doesn't fix the broken core, especially when these additions are mostly half-baked. Unfortunately, EA is still trying to catch up to the past. ESPN and NFL 2K5 cannot be put to rest yet, as insane as that sounds.
Never
I would
mind.
give Madden 26 a 3.5 out of 10.
I think it gave it a 3.5, bro.
And I do think it feels more alive than Madden, and despite its lack of polish, it somehow feels more solidly built.
Nigga gave it an 8.
Despite not being a very good game in my opinion, although a recent patch has improved it. I can be pleased. A good EA Sports football game to me would have snappy polished menus, more accurate player models and equipment, a well-thought-out and deep franchise and superstar mode, presentation that surpasses 2K5 and puts it to rest, historic game modes, and true physics-based.
I like that ice
gameplay
the kicker
as
thing. I
described
seen
earlier.
Flight play that shit.
That sounds like the most realistic path for EA to make a new game that would feel fun and fresh, but I understand that that is subjective. I hope you guys found this review useful and informative. The final score is a 3.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, y'all folks think, man. I ain't gonna cap too. Like, on some real shit, bro. Like, I feel like I said, they need to drop like the new patch like every other year, and I fuck with Soft Drink but he's always critical on Madden. So honestly, y'all niggas tell me what y'all think about the game and shit, bro. Because I don't know. I don't have the game. I seen Flight play it, and it looked alright. But Flight is a nigga with money, and he gonna go spend the money on the packs and the best players and shit. So that's kind of a difference. But y'all niggas let me know, man. We on the road. A band